Hey guys, it's Kristen from Rethink Tailoring. So it has been quite a week. Obviously, not just for us, for everybody, because the coronavirus is affecting literally everybody worldwide. Um, and yeah, this is not exactly how I had planned on opening the business. I don't think I could have planned for this at all. We are brainstorming ways to make this work. But I know that if with everybody quarantined, that everybody's going to be getting a little stir crazy. So at the moment, I would like to be concentrating a little bit on you guys, as we are also working on other things to make sure that our business is still sustainable and is still going to be doing okay. So I wanted to do a few little simple tutorials that I can show you guys some of the hand sewing basics that I do. And that way, once we get these doors opened, then if you guys feel confident in those skills, then maybe we can start you right away on some other more fun classes. So, I mean, sewing is all fun, so I don't mean to disregard any of that. But I would like to show you the favorite hand stitch, well, not favorite hand stitch, the favorite knot that I use every time that I get a needle and thread. So, using a handy dandy little box here. We're super lo-fi here at the store, but we are making it work. So I'm going to use a denim thread, which might mean it might take me a little bit longer to thread the needle. Well, we got it. Okay. So typically you may not be using a denim thread to be sewing, but for the sake of showing you what on earth is going on, I find it to be quite useful. So I've got my needle, I've got my thread. This is my denim thread. And then I have some handy dandy scissors, snips, whatever you want to call them. So I just threaded my needle, and I have a long tail and then way up here. That's my short tail, short and then long. So I'm going to ignore my short tail. I'm going to grab the end of the long tail. And I'm going to bring it up to my needle, and I'm going to make an X. Now that is an X with the thread behind the needle. Okay, now I'm going to grab this pointer finger. I'm going to hold it in place. For you lefties out there, I will need to figure out a way to do another video so that this makes more sense to you. So bear with me. We've got our X thread behind the needle. Got your pointer finger right here. Hold that in place. That's going to lock that X in place. Now, we're going to ignore that little tail. That's just going to hang out because we like to keep our X in place. So now I'm going to take this side, this long thread. I'm going to wrap it around the front of the needle, okay? So that was around the front, a whole loop. Again, all the way around, all the way around. If you want a really big knot, do it a few more times. I like to say that 3 is the happy number. So now what I'm going to do is sneak my thumb forward, and I'm going to trap that little spiral there. Now I'm going to push the needle out and pull it. Keep that pinched that spiral tight, and pull that needle all the way through. Pinch, 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 pinch. Hold that tight, and you're going to feel it push back against your fingernail. So give that a little snug pull, and then let's have a look. We have a knot. So I used to do knots different ways, and I don't do knots any other way because this is so simple and consistent, and I love it. So let's try for a big knot now. So I've got my needle, I've got my thread with a short tail and a long tail. I'm going to grab my long tail, make my X with the thread behind the needle, hold that in place with my pointer finger. I'm going to wrap this long piece of the thread around the front of the needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, little trick there. If you're wrapping it really tight around the needle, it's going to be hard for it to get over the needle head. So just be mindful of that. So now I'm going to pinch that spiral in place with my fingers. I'm going to pull that needle out and pinch, 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 pinch. And I feel it tug back. Give it that one last pull, and look at that. Big knot. There you go. And now when I am getting ready to sew, I don't like to just rely on my knot. So I will actually stitch into something and then take one tiny little stitch basically on top of itself. And give me a second, I will actually grab some fabric and I can show you what I'm talking about. So, this is a piece I'm working on, revamping that lady in the background. We've got our new full figure dress form, which I'm really excited about. So, we've got our knot, correct? Right here, yes, you can kind of see it, there we go. And I'm going to poke this in, hide the knot on the wrong side of the fabric. So we're going to consider that the wrong side of the fabric because there's a stitch line in the raw edges there. Hide it in there, okay, we've got our knot, and our thread is popping out the other side. Now I don't just start sewing right now. I like to take one little bite. When I say bite, I just say like, you know, make a very small stitch in place, grab a good solid grab of fibers, and that just kind of helps solidify that in place. I'm sure there's better ways to state what I'm trying to tell you, but anyways, I just like to take one little bite. Here, I'll do it again. So just a little bite, stitch in place, and then that kind of holds it there. Now, if we're going to do just a basic running stitch, which you could use for your visible mending, what I'm going to do is go in, out. And now I'm trying to have that be approximately evenly spaced. I'm not going to judge as long as you won't judge me. So I'm going to pull that through. In, out, approximately evenly spaced. In, out. I like to do it all just in one swoop because then it goes faster and lives up to its name of the running stitch. It can be as perfect or as imperfect as you want it to be. Now I'm going to switch on over to back stitch. For back stitch, I'm going to actually go backwards and I'm going to find where this thread went in. So I'm going to go back 1 and forward 2. Now when I say that, I'm saying forward 1 to the original thread and then 1 beyond. So right now I've got the needle, my thread in the middle, and the needle coming out. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Back 1, back to where that thread went in. So it kind of replicates a stitch line. And forward 2. 1, 2. Here, that might be easier to see. 1, 2. One more time. Back 1, forward 2. Now when you look at it from the other side, you're going to see that these threads are overlapping. That's going to give it some flex so that your threads aren't going to just pop right away. If I don't have access to a sewing machine, I will actually use that to fix a side seam. There's other stitches you can use too, but if you're concerned about it being the strongest, I like to use this. And then to tie off, I'm going to do one little grab, pull it in but not all the way, so I've got my one loop. Now next to it, I'm going to do another grab. I like to keep my needle going the same direction though, so I don't accidentally dissect this thread. If you end up accidentally stitching through this thread, then you're going to accidentally lock yourself in and you won't be able to do this. So we've got our second loop. 1, 2. Now I'm going to go back through the tunnel that I just created for myself. Okay, I'm going to pull that thread through slowly, and I'm going to pull until I see a thread moving close. So this one is moving close. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull. Okay, you see how I did that? Now I can pull my main thread all the way There we go. We have a nice flat knot. And if we don't have a knot that's hanging out like and very bulky, then that means that there's not going to be as much friction here. So I really love this knot and use it for everything. And then same thing as before, I like to do one more little back stitch in place. So look all good. Okay, so let's practice that again. We're going to do one back stitch, back and forward. And we're going to do one loop. Obviously, this is not how I would end a back stitch, just so you know. I wouldn't normally have that gap there, but just for the sake of this knot. Okay, we have that one loop, and then our second loop, making sure not to cut into this thread. So we've got our, if you would like to call them bunny ears. We're going to go back, I like tunnel. We're going to go back into our tunnel of 2 loops. And I'm going to start pulling until I see one close. Oh, see that one moving? I'm going to take it, grab it, and pull. Okay, I pulled the other one closed. Now I'm going to pull my main thread closed. If you see it twisting up on itself, just go slow and stop when you see it doing that so you can quick unravel it. And then, oh, stop twisting. There we go. If you are working on something that you are really sick of the twisting, you can also wax your thread. You can get thread wax at the store, just at Joann Fabrics, and you wax your thread and then you iron it so that it helps get a lot of that extra twist out. Anyways, I'm doing my one final grab through. Okay, I'm going to do one more back stitch, and I'm going to do this more real time so you can see. So we've got one grab, 2 grabs, back through the tunnel, pull till you see one close. I'm going to grab that one, pull it close, pull that one close, and little bite. And snip. Look at that. Nice, tidy little knot. If you have another knot you like better, then you should use that one. But this is the one that I love to use, and if you haven't used it before, figured it seems like a really good day to teach you. Okay, well, that's it for now. I guarantee I'm going to come up with more stuff later. I'm also brainstorming doing little projects that we can possibly work on together. So if there's any little simple projects that you have suggestions that you want me to do, like little simple DIY projects, shoot your ideas my way, because I'd love to hear them. Okay, well, may we all get through this together. And as you can see, well, you can't see the front window, but I painted in the window last night. Keep calm, and so on. Okay, let's just keep moving. We'll get through this. This isn't forever. This too shall pass. Okay, signing off. Bye-bye.